This is the Marvel Legends series, X-Men, Marvel's Cyclops. The figure is part of the first wave of the 2017 Marvel Legends X-Men wave of figures. And here's the rest of the assortment. Each figure will have a piece to build Warlock, except Old Man Logan Wolverine. Picked up the entire set at Kramer Toy Warden. Big thanks to Kramer for this set. And this is probably the best figure in the wave. It has some issues, but definitely one figure that collectors will be looking for, especially those fans of the 90s X-Men when Jim Lee just really revolutionized the comic book industry with his artwork and just fantastic renditions of the X-Men. Kids nowadays are probably going to think, oh my god, this is so gaudy, just really over the top type of costume. Who walks around in these kinds of outfits? But for us back in the 90s, this was a fantastic looking costume, and it was, for a lot of us, this is what really got us into comic books. The Jim Lee style comic books, X-Men drawn, how the characters were drawn in these really nice elegant artwork. And finally we get a 6-inch scaled version of this figure. It's one figure I together with a lot of collectors I've been waiting for. And yeah, so let's get right to it. Let me just stand him up. He's not okay. And the other, well, we've had Cyclops figures back in the day. This was from the Brood Queen, the Astonishing X-Men. I'm not, he's okay. I thought it was pretty okay. Paint app sucked, but as a figure, it was okay. It could serve. You could repaint it. It could be like a classics Cyclops or something. That this was the X-Men Revolution Cyclops, for a while, this was a very hard figure to pick up because the first wave of X-Men Legends were Toys R Us exclusives, and that sucked. But I thought this was a great figure. I thought they nailed it with the paint apps and the head sculpt. Not the best figure, not the best Cyclops figure, definitely. And now comes this one, and I am just amazed at how much one can recycle a particular body mold and turn it into just a great piece of work, artwork. It's the same body mold that they used for Baron Zemo, the Hydra Soldier, and this Cyclops. They used it for him. The only changes they made is obviously they put the web belt or the pistol belt or whatever, the harness on him. It's a different color. It's a shame. It more of like a tangerine orange type of belt. It should be this color. I don't know why it's not this color, since all of the other movable straps are in that color. They should have molded in that plastic, but I don't know. Did the comic books draw it different? I thought Jim Lee made him all yellow, and this one was a little bit goldish, but not orangey. So, yeah. The other parts are not glued on, so it can be a pain. These two, they just keep falling off, and they look like, I don't know, like mangles on his legs. These are okay, they stay in place, but they just rotate. So you could apply some nail polish or some super glue or Loctite, whatever, to just keep them in place. But I've decided not to. Most often than not, if I use that super glue, there's a white streak that appears somewhere here and there, so I don't want to ruin the figure. Maybe if I get another one, I do that, but as it is, I'm just gonna put up with it. So, same body mold. Let's talk about paint apps. Nothing to complain about. If you're really gonna nitpick, it's the applications, the paint apps on the face. Make sure there's not too much gold, that it makes the visor look too thick, and make sure that the red paint is on squarely. Actually it's more, it's more of the molding of that slot where his I-beams come out. That's where the issues lie. Not so much the paint apps, but actually how they mold it, how they cut it. So be very careful in doing that. The hair is painted nicely. That's because it's a separate piece that they glued on the head. I think that's how they solved that issue with the paint of the hair bleeding into the flesh. And I forgot to say this, he comes with the left leg of Warlock, which we will assemble Warlock in another review. another video. I'll show him assembled and we'll do a review of him. So that's it. Paint apps on the belt and on his strap, on his harness. Yeah, make sure the black on the X and the red do not bleed in together. Other than that, nothing to complain about. They didn't put a wash on the blue, but I thought that blue plastic really, they knocked it out with the color scheme on this one. I think I'm finally getting it. They're trying to make this a little bit goldish like that, but it's not coming out as great as they wanted it to be. Articulation for the figures, got a ball jointed neck that's on a hinge that he can just bzzzt, like that. Very nice. Ball hinge shoulders. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, ball hinge wrists that go in and out, and this the same as this one. Why do they always have one of his hands that, and is it still just to push on that button to blast? I suppose we'll always get that for a Cyclops figure, but this one, oh, because he didn't have anything to push on, so okay. I would have appreciated an alternate hand, like the one that has this twin-fisted, so that 2 fists. I'd appreciated that. Like an alternate hand would be nice, like what they did with Rogue. But okay. Ball waist swivel, ab crunch, ball jointed hips, thigh swivel, double jointed knees. Not too bad. It's the old mold. He's got a calf swivel. Sorry. And then ball hinge ankles with the rocker joint. A little bit of a mold degradation there. It's a little bit loose, but it is an amazing figure. It's gonna get a 10 out of 10 for me, simply because I'm a big fan of this iteration of Cyclops, and I'm just so glad to actually have the Jim Lee Cyclops figure in hand. There you go, folks. Hope you've enjoyed this little video review. It's a very nice figure. I wish you all the best of luck finding it. It is the first one to go. Every time a case gets displayed in a store, that is the one that is being sought after and just snagged up and snatched. It's going for about, what, here in Manila, they're selling one for about $60–70 each. Jeez, are you kidding me? On eBay, and on Facebook. Man, scalpers nowadays. There you go, folks. Hope you enjoyed this little video review. The Marvel Legends series X-Men, Jim Lee Cyclops from the Warlock Build-A-Figure wave. Thanks for watching.